MovieWeb.com.
So I want to begin by asking about the film. When Jared brings you the script and you read this, what was your first reaction to it?
When I read the script, I was like, well, it's kind of in my comedy sweet spot. I mean, I love stories that are just unusual and such a psychedelic script. And so I was like, dude, I'd love to party on this with you. And then he told me he wanted me to play Dusty, and it was funny on the page. It was a funny part, and then I realized what my look was gonna be.
How much were you involved in creating the character? I mean, was it completely on the paper already, or was that a lot of you involved?
Well, it said that he was like he had like long hair, and that he was all in white, so, you know, like in the whole angel, because he's a guardian angel idea. But I did not realize that I was never gonna get laid again.
By looking like that with the long hair, the Jesus look wasn't working for you.
Yeah, I don't think as I walked around the set, people were like, "Wow, get a load of that one."
How was it working with Jennifer Coolidge? You had some great scenes with her.
Oh yeah, she's hilarious. It was the only problem with Jennifer was that she had a hard time keeping a straight face when I had the snake, and so it was hard enough to like get through the scenes with this like python around my neck, then have like Jennifer bursting out laughing during all of the scenes. It made for long days.
Was there a lot of that on the set of like really funny things happening and trying to kind of keep the seriousness of awkwardness?
I mean, when you're working with actors like Jennifer, who's such a stitch, and Sam Rockwell and Jermaine Clement, and you know, like everybody's just so funny. It's like hard to try to be a serious actor.
And how was this experience working with Jared different than Nacho Libre? Was anything, you know, similar? Was it easier working on it, producing wise, because you had the experience with him before?
Well, this is Nacho Libre had its own, you know, it was complicated because we were shooting in Mexico, and it was, you know, all Spanish-speaking crew basically, and so but it was such a blast, and really it was on Nacho that I realized, you know, you can have a great time professionally and still, you know, be proud of the product at the end of the day. And so when they said come party on this, it was hard for me to say no, because we just had so much fun.
Was there anything in the script that you were able to sort of relate to from your own childhood? I mean, these guys are making movies and they're, you know, their kids writing scripts. Is that stuff that...
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember like, seeing the Raiders movies and writing my own version and then shooting something with like a home movie camera. And so like all of that where, you know, somebody else's art inspires you to make your own, and then, you know, and that's something that is so big right now with the internet and fan fiction, the cinemashes, and I feel like this movie really captures that whole sort of trend.
And was there anything that was really difficult in shooting, or in your role as producer on the set, that you really had to deal with, that surprised you, that you weren't expecting?
The hardest part on shooting on this movie was all of the sci-fi stuff. The stuff with Sam Rockwell, all of that location was on the Salt Lake, and it was as beautiful as it was like there were flies, it was so humid, it was like a really miserable location. And so we just had long days there, long days.
Did anything come up that Jared had like just a crazy idea? It's like, oh, we're gonna do this with this, and you're like, wait a minute, that's just
the
bizarre.
Entire time, every day, like, we need a bobcat. I'm like, can we? I mean, because bobcats really, you can't train them, you know what I mean? Right. It's like, but we've got to have a bobcat. And I'm like, okay. And that's when you, as a producer, you're like, what have I got myself into? How do I find a bobcat that we can train to run around, you know?
And finally, what, you know, I would assume this was a great experience for you as well. Do you hope to work with them again and do another film? And what do you hope to do in the future with Jared?
I mean, my hope is that we'll continue to be able to party together in different ways. You know, it's like, you know, I have my own stuff, but it's whenever Jared's doing something, it'd be fun to be a part of it. But you know, it's like it's always about, you know, schedules and.
You feel like your
life.
Comedic minds together really.
Yeah, no, I mean,
stuff.
I think Jared and Jerusha and I have had a lot of fun working together, and that in the end, that really is all that matters. Is like if you know, hopefully you're happy with the result. You hope that everything succeeds. But if you had fun along the way, you know, there's less of an onus on the result.
Gentlemen Broncos.